Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Zero Hour. A few additional thoughts on Greece. Let's start with this. Bankers everywhere keep managing to duck responsibility for their own actions and making others pay for it. Have you noticed that? The Greek crisis, the Greek financial situation, is not the result of ordinary Greek citizens in the street. It's not the result of retired Greek people on pensions. It's not the problem created by Greek bus drivers or other Greek public workers. This is a problem that was created by the international banking community and the Greek banking community. And yet, in none of the controversy over what should happen now that a sensible leftist coalition has been elected to power, and none of the controversy going on in the Eurozone or the commentary that's taking place here and elsewhere around the world, is anybody talking about the bankers who created this crisis and what they should do to make it good. Nor are they talking about the international bodies which were supposed to supervise the Greek banking system, especially once it became part of the European community. Now, I wrote about this about a year ago. I'm going to go back and revisit that, maybe bring that to light again, but I have reports from both international groups as well as European groups saying that the Greek banking system was just fine and had all the safeguards it needed. You don't hear anybody talking about reforming or changing or redesigning these oversight bodies who did such a terrible job of protecting not only the European community, but the global economy and Greece itself from this kind of tragedy. Okay, that's thought number two. Thought number three. These people who have come to power in Greece are common sense. The economist who is taking over the portfolio of finance minister in Greece is a common sense guy, but he's being described as a radical. Why? He is espousing economic ideas that have been accepted for, in many cases, 75 years. Why is he a radical? Because he's willing to say things like the Greek people have been subjected to repeated fiscal waterboarding, which was his description of the horrific austerity measures imposed on that country. He's absolutely right. I wouldn't call him a radical economist. I would call him an evidence-based economist. Now, another interesting thing about the Greek crisis, call this observation number 4, all these people who are global in their outlook, the Tom Friedman world is flat types, all of a sudden become so nation-based, so nation-state-oriented, so concerned with national borders whenever ordinary people need help and the banking community should step up. All of a sudden, these world is flat types believe that, it's a Greek problem and the Greeks need to pay, meaning ordinary working Greek people, not the Greek bankers or the Greek elites who continue to deduct their tax bills. That's not something that a Greek public worker or a Greek person on a pension does, dodge a tax bill. That's a problem in Greece, but why aren't they going after the elites? I think you know the answer to that. Another, call it observation 5 about Greece, this is an international struggle. Like right here in this country, we have a Republican Party who's pushing Greek-style austerity on the American people. So we need a movement and a party, the Democrats might want to volunteer, who will talk about how insanely wrong austerity is. Because let's face it, it's a war of nerves now between the international financial community and the democratically elected people of Greece and the people who might elect similar leaders elsewhere in the world, including here. It's a war of nerves. Where are the Americans who are standing up for the rights of the Greek people? Where are the Americans expressing their solidarity? Senator Bernie Sanders did it, and we congratulate him for it. But where are the others? This is a good litmus test for people. If you think you want them to be your political leaders going forward, if you think they might represent you, find out if they're willing to express support for what they're trying to do in Greece, because the Greek struggle is everyone's struggle, and we need to see it that way. The Republicans, along with some of their Democratic allies, are already going after Social Security. They're already going after Medicare. They're already going after anti-poverty spending. They're already going after the regulations that are marginally protecting us from the banking community. The struggle is on here, just as the struggle is on in Greece. And if we are going to protect ourselves, if we are going to fight against the system that has caused so much difficulty, if we are going to fight against wealth inequality, we need to recognize something very simple. The Greek struggle is our struggle, and we want to support them because their victory will be our victory. I'm Richard, RJ Eskow, and this is the Zero Hour.